The entire sports world pauses to listen as two basketball greats speak. That's precisely what took place when two of the NBA's best players and fiercest rivals, Larry Bird and Michael Jordan, united to make a statement. It might permanently alter our perception of women's basketball and Caitlin Clark, its biggest star. Their statements didn't only tremble. They sent shockwaves through the whole sports world and beyond the basketball community. However, what could bring these two legendary foes together for such a public acknowledgement? How did they see in Clark's game that prompted them to break their usual silence and make such a monumental declaration? The implications of their statement reach far beyond individual recognition to potentially reshape the entire basketball's own future. Michael Jordan and Larry Bird embody two distinct periods of basketball excellence with their The NBA was defined by this epic rivalry in the 1980s and early 1990s. Bird is a forward for the Boston Celtics. Earned 3 NBA titles and 3 straight MVP honors for his extraordinary shooting prowess and basketball IQ. Between 1984 and 1986, throughout his career, he has averaged 24.3 points, 10.0 and 0 rebounds, and 6.3 assists per game while averaging 37.6% from three-point range and 49.6% from the field over 13 seasons. Jordan, often regarded as the greatest basketball player of all time, he ruled the Chicago Bulls during the 1990s, garnering 5 MVP honors and 6 NBA titles. His career averages are 5 and 3 1.6.22 rebounds. He became the most prolific scorer with 3 assists per game and a 49.7% field goal percentage. Throughout NBA history, the competitive intensity between Bird and Jordan during their overlapping careers created some of the most iconic moments in the history of basketball. Despite their intense on-court rivalry, they respect each other. Over the years, competition has been extensively chronicled. Each player has continuously complemented the other's efforts to basketball and have continued to have a significant impact on the sport even after they stopped playing. Concluded. It is unclear under what circumstances these two legends may get together to issue a joint declaration about a modern athlete, especially one from the women's division. The ascent of basketball player Caitlin Clark. She first gained notoriety while attending the University of Iowa, where she broke multiple NCAA records and rose to become the most well-known player in the history of women's collegiate basketball. Her capacity to score, basketball IQ and range were compared to some of the best shooters in history, including Jordan and Bird. Clark averaged 31.6 points, 7.44 rebounds, and 8.9 assists per game during her final year at Iowa. While guiding the Hawkeyes to 2 straight trips to the Final Four. Her capacity to score from any location on the court, along with her leadership abilities and passing vision, made her the most anticipated WNBA draft prospect in the recent past. Clark had an unparalleled effect on women's basketball viewing. Throughout her time at college, millions of people watched Iowa games on television on a regular basis, with her last 4 games turning into some of the most watched women's basketball contests ever. Her impact went beyond basketball to include clothing sales, social media followings, and cultural influence that went beyond athletics. When Clark moved to the WNBA to play professional basketball, maintain her unprecedented performance. During her first season with the Indiana Fever, she set numerous, being the first rookie to record a triple-double and setting league records for assists and three-pointers made. The Fever went from being one of the league's worst teams to a playoff contender thanks to her arrival, while producing hitherto unheard-of levels of attendance and broadcast viewing. The effect of Clark's business. Indiana Fever season ticket sales have increased, making my professional career truly remarkable by more than 400%, and events often fill facilities that had trouble drawing crowds. Her influence on WNBA television ratings has brought women's professional basketball to new audiences and generated chances for more media attention and financial investment. The connection between NBA greats and contemporary WNBA players have changed dramatically over time with greater recognition and encouragement from former male players for women's professional basketball. This evolution reflects both the enhanced WNBA play quality, the expanding societal recognition of women's sports as acceptable forms of entertainment, and Athletic contests. Bird's involvement with Indiana basketball throughout his playing career. His position as team president and the Pacers foster a close relationship with the basketball community where Clark is a professional player now. His comprehension of fan expectations and Indiana basketball culture gives him a distinctive viewpoint on Clark's influence and future prospects, Jordan's commercial pursuits, and his ownership of the Charlotte Hornets and his interest in basketball at other levels provide him with insight into the professional basketball's commercial and competitive aspects. His background in basketball construction. His thoughts are especially helpful when assessing players because he understands market dynamics and branding, influence and possibilities. When luminaries like Bird and Jordan make statements, the basketball world usually reacts with substantial media coverage and conversation among players, fans, and commentators. Their viewpoints are significant enough that goes beyond straightforward critique to possibly affect how other basketball players perceive and assess the current players. It begs the question of what particular elements of Clark's game and influence may have sufficiently impressed Jordan and Bird to inspire public remarks. The ramifications might imply that she has a cultural and commercial impact on basketball in addition to her statistical accomplishments. Impact that appeals to athletes who see the wider value of sporting performance. Clark's technical basketball abilities include shooting accuracy and range that rival some of the best basketball players in history, both male and female. Her capacity to produce shots from well beyond the conventional three-point line presents attacking opportunities and strategic obstacles for defenses. Opportunities for her teammates. Basketball is demonstrated by her passing skills and court vision. IQ that enables her to anticipate plays and make choices that optimize her team's offensive effectiveness. This mix of individual scoring prowess and team-focused playmaking exemplifies the type of all-around basketball abilities that both Bird and Jordan had throughout their careers. The level of competition and Clark's ability to lead under duress reflects the mental toughness and clutch play that characterize the careers of both Jordan and Bird. Her capacity to execute at her top level during the most crucial games indicates the type of championship mindset that legendary players are respected and acknowledged. Basketball strategy and playing style have evolved to produce new chances for players with Clark's skill set to influence games in ways that weren't entirely valued in earlier times. The heightened focus on three-point shooting and game speed is consistent flawlessly with her playing style and innate skills. There are concerns about how Bird and Jordan's acknowledgement might persuade other prominent basketball players to openly endorse women's basketball and whether their remarks could stimulate more funding and interest from the larger basketball community. The effects on business of having the public endorsement of an NBA player by NBA legends may have an impact on league-wide commercial opportunities in addition to individual recognition, media attention as well as sponsor interest. Such endorsements' crossover appeal could be beneficial. Women's basketball gains more commercial success and reaches more audiences. The historical importance of any collaborative statements made by Bird and Jordan are strengthened by their competitive connection. Because their consensus on basketball-related issues reflects the agreement of two distinct basketball mindsets and methods for playing the game. Their mutual admiration points to attributes that go beyond personal playing techniques or allegiances to a team. The way that women's basketball is covered by the media has evolved significantly in the past few years, with more coverage and analysis that establishes venues for significant talk about the potential and accomplishments of players. NBA luminaries' participation in these discussions raises the conversation and lends legitimacy to women's basketball status as a top sport. Rivalry. Beyond athletics, Clark's basketball career has influenced culture through conversations regarding the importance of women's sports in society, athletic opportunities, and gender equality. The acknowledgement of male basketball legends helps establish women's basketball as deserving of the same attention and adds to these larger discussions and focus as sports for males. Studying is frequently a part of young basketball players' growth. By imitating the methods and strategies of renowned athletes, there are components in Clark's game that demonstrate the impact of athletes like Bird and Jordan, implying that the present generation of female basketball players has benefited from and expanded upon earlier basketball developments.